race fans. Welcome to another episode of Short Track Guys Podcast, brought to you in part by McDonald Muffler, the Muffler Mafia in Mobile, Alabama. They're a family-owned and operated muffler shop, converters, shocks, and much more. Give those guys a call at 251-661-1043. That's McDonald Muffler. You guys know them. It's the Muffler Mafia in Mobile, Alabama. Also in the studio for tonight's episode, as always, Jim Pokrant, driver of the 07 Can't Quit Fishing.com Sportsman, and Ted Baber of Ted Baber Video Productions. What's up, guys?
We are so happy to be back on the interwebs again and speaking to our peeps.
Yeah, I hear that. I'm glad to be back, man. This hiatus stuff was nuts.
Yeah, I had some technical difficulties along the way. We had a server that went down. We had a little storm in Florida, all about that happens in and out. But we are back. It's happy to be back and got all the guys in here. We've got some short track racing to catch up on. We've got a big event Friday night here as the Sportsman Spectacular, 1,000 to win. Jim, tell us about what's been going on while we've been down.
Went up to Op and ran their street stock race. Had a good time. Car died on me about lap 15. Had a coil wire break, which stinks, but I think we're going to be pretty good for tomorrow night. I found an issue with the trailing arm. It was probably causing some woes that I've been having handling-wise, so we got that fixed. And just ready to get back on the racetrack. I've had some out-of-town luck this year that ain't worth a darn, so hopefully I can get my in-town luck good, and maybe we can win us $1,000 this Friday night. But it's going to be good. Going to be a good show. I think there's going to be some decent cars. I had one of them get sold this week, which I hate to hear, but the rest of the guys will be there, and I'm pretty sure that car will be there also, so it's going to be an interesting show is all I can tell you. We're just going to go balls out for 35 laps, and where we land is where we land.
Hey.
Yeah, it looks like they've added the pure stocks to that event too out here.
I seen that. Well, the shame my teammate's not going to get to make it. He's in the Bahamas. Breaks my heart. Man's down there making a living, but up on a boat in that beautiful water and just having a great, it's so terrible. He works so hard in the sun and gets to enjoy people and stuff. It breaks my heart.
Yeah, let's all cry for him, right?
Yeah, let's just cry me a river, but hey, he's got to make a living somehow.
That's it.
But he won't be able to make it. Plus, we ain't even got his car fixed in the last wreck he was in, so we got to work on that too. But and I'm only one person, so it's kind of hard to get two cars ready. But it's going to be a good weekend. I think we're going to have a good time. And like I said, man, we got a lot of exciting short track racing, and we had one weekend everything rained out.
Yeah.
So that kind of helped us out a little bit because there was nothing racing. There wasn't a race car moving within 150, 200 miles of here.
I think Mobile had 2 weekends rained out.
Yeah, they did, and that's some new news also that Mobile International, just hate to hear that Gina's no longer in charge over there. A dude named Eddie Shoemaker took it over, and Jason Smith's going to be the promoter from what I'm hearing through the grapevine. So we're interested to see what kind of schedule they come up with.
Yes.
And I kind of like it because from what I'm hearing, we're going back to Hoosier Tires over there. I don't mind going over there if I don't have to spend an extra $700 on a different set of tires. No offense to Gina. I think Gina did a great job. It's a shame that she couldn't hang on, but with the rainouts and the problems she was having, it just wasn't economically feasible for her. And it stinks, and we hate to hear it.
Yeah, that's a lot of difficulties there, and just back-to-back like that, it really hurts.
Yeah, 35 laps, 1,000 to win, and a bonus of $150 for the fast qualifier for that race.
Sure. Yeah, I've been there before, so it'd be nice to take that in, that $1,000.
Yeah, that'll help.
Yeah, good money. I mean, it's going to be a good race. Like I said, it will definitely be a battle. That's for sure.
What kind of car count do you anticipate?
I'm hoping that we'll end up with 10 to 15 cars.
Yeah.
I mean, we had 12 at the last race.
Right, yeah.
So, I mean, it's feasible to have 15 cars. I mean, I just wish we could work on that and get the car count up in both divisions. It's a shame there's cars sitting around, but, once again, when you go to tech and they weigh you and pay you or crawl into the car and just, flashlight everything and don't measure anything, do anything significant like they say they're going to do.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we had the controversy with Colby McDonald, got his motor bought and then decided to drop some stuff down the motor and didn't get suspended over that, which I don't understand. Then because the very next race he wrecked my friend Ben. But the point is, you got to have tech. You got to start looking because that's why people don't race. And right now money's tight. Our economy sucks. So to spend the extra money to come to a race, you got to feel like you got to make it worth your while. Tim is paying back a little more. I'll give him that much. He's trying, but you got to do more than that. We got to promote the local classes. We got to push it. And I know where several race cars are sitting that should be on the racetrack. Now, some of that's the owner, too.
Right.
But, we got to do something to get our local back up because, it's ridiculous.
They had a good purse up there in Opp, and they had a good turnout up there.
Had 15 cars start that race. And there was actually 17 on premise. One of them blew a motor, and the other one broke a rear end and just couldn't fix it in time, so they left. But, Charles Davis won that race. He's a buddy of mine. He's the one that gave me some tires at the Derby one year. We were rehashing that story when I saw him. He's a really good guy, hard racer, and he bought Kevin Mitchell's 99 car. So maybe he'll be down here racing with us Friday night, maybe not, maybe turn into a Montgomery car. I don't know.
Yeah, you guys normally run 25 laps on a normal feature. This being a spectacular and adding 10 more laps, is that what is that going to do to your strategy?
Not much. 10 laps don't mean a whole heck of a lot. In that class, you've got to go hard. Everybody's talking about, 50 laps at the Derby. Like we used to run 100 laps, you have to save tires. Yeah. It's 35 laps. You go hard as you can go because, the last first 2 races this year have been all caution free. Well, when you have a caution that bunches everybody back up, everybody's usually running the same lap times, usually around lap 15. Everybody slows down and kind of gets the same pace. But, they're a little bit faster than you. They get out on you. Caution bunches us up. So maybe, we'll work something out there because lap time wise, even though the car was getting on the right rear when we get off of, we weren't that slow. So, it's just, track position and where the cautions fall.
Right. Are they going to allow 4 tires for this one?
Oh, yes. Yeah. And I got to thank my sponsors, All Pools, Can't Quit Fishing, Emerald Coast Remodeling and Trim, Ted Baber, got Jerry Bowman Construction, and the doc on Pensacola Beach for putting the race on. We appreciate you.
And that windshield guy, maybe you want to go?
Oh, I'm sorry. I keep forgetting you because, but Pensacola Glass for the windshield for the car. Ted Baber, that was another one he was involved in. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no
and I got to thank my crew chief, Martin Beck, Ted, a new crew member, Devin, who has recently come around, but he's not going to be there Friday night. He's got a church function that he has to go to, but he's been coming to the shop and helping me now. And I just wish we could get Will back. I miss my boy Will Hay helping us. Yeah. And so we'll see what happens Friday night. We'll just drop the rag and let the rough side drag, and let's go from there.
Yeah. Sportsman, spectacular. 35 laps, 1,000 to win, $150 to $150 for the fast qualifier. The Faith Chapel Outlaws going to run 40 laps. The Pro Trucks could be out there 25. The Pure Stocks 25, and the Crown Stocks, which is now a really, really growing class, and not just our area, but you look at all the results from everywhere around across the country. They're running Crown Stocks, and they'll be out there showcasing for 15.
Yeah. Well, some of them, some places like down south, they let them modify them a little bit, which I don't agree with. There was one guy that showed up here to run the race before this one. He was so fast he could have run top 3 in the pure stock division, and I thought they told him to load up. He actually, out of respect for everybody else, just loaded up. He said, I realized that I'm much faster than these guys, and a lot of them weren't going to race. He said, I didn't want to do that to Tim, so he put his car back in the trailer. They ran him up at Opp, and 2 of our cars finished 2nd and 3rd in Opp. Yeah. So, it's a great class. And Story Blight Roofing, who just did the roof on my house, by the way, shameless plug. But they're building cars like left and right. I think when they're done, they're going to own 12 of them.
Good Lord.
Yeah, because they're going to do a rental deal, and they got a couple of dirt drivers who are going to move in and drive them, and it's going to be it's going to be a huge class, and I like that. I like the class. I'm just hoping that gets people interested and people want to move up into other classes.
Right.
And this is my little deal. They want to make Sportsman a better class, and you want to separate us some from pure stock. Here's a great idea. Any stock steel body. If I want to put a 56 Edsel body on that car, let me put a 56 Edsel body on that car. If I want to put a Mustang body on that car, if I want to put a Camaro body on it, if I want to put a Monte Carlo body, whatever I want to run, as long as it's stock steel, the roof, the quarter panels, the doors, everything must be stock.
Yeah, because like we've talked about this before, the cost of trying to find original parts is just ridiculous.
Yeah, but you can buy like a wrecked Camaro for like $400. I saw one the other day, the quarter panel was wrinkled. Right. The body, $400. You buy that, you cut the body off of it, put it on your street stock, you got a newer looking Camaro. Plus, it helps people in the grandstands identify with the class better.
Right, yeah.
Oh, look, Camaro, there's a Dodge Challenger. It doesn't matter if it's got a metric chassis under it.
Right.
Put these extra bodies on there. It brings people to the racetrack. Hey, man, there's a Dodge Challenger running in Sportsman. Oh, because there's one down the just recently I had to show you a picture of it down at New Smyrna. Guy put one together, one of the Spears family running it. It's a gorgeous Dodge Challenger. I mean, it's a beautiful race car. And they make a Dodge Challenger nose and Dodge Challenger tail.
Right.
You could do the same thing with Camaro. You do the same thing with an old Oldsmobile. I would love to make my car look like an old Winston Cup car, like when they ran the Oldsmobile Cutlasses, the front wheel drive Cutlasses.
Right.
They make a nose and a tail for those. That would be a cool looking car, or a Chevy Lumina,
Right. Yeah.
or a 2001 Monte Carlo. We could do all that. That's just my rant for the day, fellas. I just wish we would do something to try to pep up, make it more exciting, make the cars look more modern. Not fiberglass bodies that we have to spend a bunch of money on. Not just any stock steel body. Just put it in there as long as it fits the wheelbase. Any stock steel body.
Yeah. Well, rants are allowed here in the studio.
Yes, we do that once in a while.
Yeah. So I mean, we got some exciting racing coming up. We got some racing going on right now as we speak in North Wilkesboro.
Actually, we do.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some big news about that too, and I want to get to that just a little bit. I'll cover up some of the stuff that some of the bigger races that happened this past weekend. We had 3 of them actually in Nashville, the Fairground Speedway, the Arca Menards East Series race, and there's a guy in there that took off on a restart that we've talked about. One of them we have a nickname for, but Luke Fenhouse from up there in the Arca Midwest Tour. Up in Wisconsin area came down and had a side-by-side battle with a lap to go with what we call the Minnesota Missile, William Sawalek.
That's it.
And I'm telling you what, that was probably the race, just that one lap. And Luke Fenthouse ended up getting that win over William Sawalek. And, that ARCA series is really a stepping stone to get into the full ARCA series. Now, they do split it up east and west, but... Right. A lot of these guys come in, they'll run that full ARCA series, but what a stepping stone that is to get into some of the higher tiers.
Get your name out.
Hey, Jake Finch, you can't overlook him. He had a great run in the top 5 and led a lot of that race too. So, I mean, you got a lot of young talent in there. So that's going to be interesting to watch those guys.
Yeah, they had the Pro Late models over there with Jackson Boone coming up with the win over Dawson Sutton. Dawson with that War Rackley team. It just keeps getting better and better up there. Nashville's really a popular track too.
Oh, you think? One of the oldest short tracks in America, dude. I've been there. Just the feeling when you're there, the historic feeling when you're at that place, and the names of drivers, Sterling Martin and Darrell Waltrip, guys that won track championships at that place.
Yeah,
that place is just bad to the bone, and I'm glad to see it being revived and. The owners getting involved and making it better, kind of like North Wilkesboro, making things better for an old short track and bringing it back.
Yeah. And the CRA, Street Stock with Chuck Barnes Jr. Everybody knows Chuck Barnes, and he shows up. He's probably one to look at, not just in the top 3, but he's probably a threat to win just about everywhere he goes.
Yep. CRA, and I'm doing air quotes, Street Stock.
Yeah, right.
See, Street Stock.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing street and ain't nothing stock about those cars. They're just about a late model, but it's a cool series and they bring a lot of cars.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a great event at Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway this past weekend, and we're going to move up a little north of that with the JEGS CRA All-Star Tour. This one was at Birch Run Speedway. It's a 4/10 mile, just kind of like Opp up there in South Alabama Speedway in Opp. This was a 4/10 mile at Birch Run, Michigan. Chase Berta. There's a great story behind him. He's the 2019 CRA Junior Late Model Champion and was fastest on an optional practice on Friday and ended up winning his first All-Star race in the CRA All-Stars Tour over Kyle Crump, Steve Dorer, and Michael Simcoe was the top 4 there. And, we mentioned a bunch of those names too. And that was at Birch Run. A lot of people don't know down in this area, but we thought we'd bring it up because it's a big race up there in that series.
What about the Stars race at Madison? That was a good show. Dan Fredrickson winning that one. but then getting tossed.
Yeah, that hurt.
Yeah, and handed who ended up winning that thing? Majeski?
Yeah, Ty Majeski took over.
And Bubba wound up finishing third and got second after they threw him out. And Fredrickson did a funny video. He's like, "This is a spacer supposed to be on there." And he had a caliper, and he goes, "This spacer was on there, and it was way taller. It was a big difference."
Yeah.
So I mean, I hate it for him because Dan Fredrickson is one of those guys that he's not a super big money guy, but he's there and he races and he digs hard. And to win the Joe Shear Memorial and having it taken away from you because somebody forgot to put the right spacer on there is just a kick in the nuts, you know?
Yeah, those big races and the oversights like that was something little. I mean, it just it's heartbreaking. But you know, Dan is he's an upstanding racer. He's a good guy. He'll help you any way he can. It's sad to see that happen, and it does, and everybody knows it. Little things like that happen.
Well, you don't want to upset him because speaking of big, he is all that too. He is large. I gotta tell you, big boy.
Yeah, he is.
Piss him off. But I hate it for his team. They worked so hard, and didn't you tell me he blew a motor and they had to change the motor, and somebody must have forgot to change the spacer or put the wrong spacer on.
Yeah, he set past time in practice, and he went back out and the motor let go, and they had to work overnight and then through the morning to put a new engine in that car, and that's what happens.
Yeah, sometimes you get in a hurry. It's just a little mistakes, like tungsten and things like that.
Yeah, Chase Elliott, tungsten, whatever. But yeah, it sucks for him, and I hate it for his team. But congratulations to Ty Majeski. And our boy Bubba crept up there and stayed with him all weekend long, set a fast time, and did really well. And he's right now, Bubba's starting up front and everything.
Yeah, he's on fifth at Northwick.
Yeah, so we'll talk about that. But it's just good to see our boy Bubba running good because you got to look at it. Had he not got dumped at Five Flags, he's leading the points.
Right.
So. You know, which is where Ty Majeski is right now. And, I mean, I hate that. I just really hate it because, I mean, Bubba's finished every single race but the one in California, and every time it's either a podium or a win.
Yeah.
So
well, I mean, speaking of Northwick, Bubba, how many of these names, I'll just go through the starting lineup here real quick, have we not heard of at Five Flags? I mean, you got Matt Craig, Noah Gregson, Chase Elliott, Connor Jones, Bubba Pollard, obviously, Carson Hocevar, Daniel Suarez, I'm not sure that he's ever been there.
No, he's only raced in NASCAR. He raced NASCAR south of the border, and then he moved up.
Yeah, and then we got William Byron, Cole Butcher, Caden Quapple, Jake Finch. We talked about him. Casey Roderick, Derek Thorne. Hello, we've heard of him. He's been around a little bit here and there. Sammy Smith, Giovanni Ruggiero, Anthony Sergi. I'm pretty sure he's been here. I'm just trying to remember.
Yes, I remember him being there. Yeah.
The Minnesota Missile we just spoke about here a minute ago, William Sawalich, and let's run on down here. Stephen Nassy, obviously, Justin Kreider, Derek Griffith, Albert Francis, Jeremy Doss, and listen to the LCQ qualifiers, and this is craziness. Grant Enfinger, Hudson Halder, Derek Kraus, Billy Van Meter, Blaine Roca, and Tyler Tanner on LCQs, and then the mayor of South Alabama, or maybe even the governor, I don't know, Ty Majeski, provisional to get in there.
Well, I mean, they had a rain out, and qualifying, they got like halfway through qualifying, and they're like, okay, well, we're not gonna do any more qualifying, so we're gonna go with practice speeds. Well, Bubba was first in the first practice and fourth in the second one, so you know he's gonna start up front. So, and I hate that. I really do. I mean, you know, a lot of people are on internet crying and whining about it, or bitching and moaning. It's not fair. They should re-up qualifying, blah, blah, blah. Well, the same thing we went through at the Snowball, when we had the Outlaws get flogged out.
Right.
Everybody's, you can run them Sunday morning. You don't understand the logistics
You cannot.
of trying to get those cars on the racetrack Sunday morning, get their rigs in, get them out, then get the big car. The big show's the big show.
Yeah, and all the pre-race festivities that goes on before that, it's ridiculous.
And I mean, Tim let everybody come in for free on the Saturday after they had to race, and a couple people couldn't come back. I get that. And it's just a tough decision. I would not want to be a race promoter in this day and age because you ain't going to make everybody happy. And people get on there, you got smoked. I'd throw my tires through the windshield. I'd do this. I'd do that, blah, blah, blah. Well, here you go. run faster in practice, because I'm pretty sure it's in their rules. Everybody says that they don't know, but I'm pretty sure they told them
Right.
if we rain out, we're going to go by practice speeds. I'm sure that's probably something that's already set up with their deal. So you knew this and you didn't go practice and there was a chance of rain. That's on you.
Yeah, you better be prepared for anything.
Well,
Especially.
the thing to do is go out and run a couple of rounds and then come in and put your qualifying setup in and make about 3 laps in your qualifying mode. That way you're guaranteed a starting spot.
Yes.
And up front. Because some people may not do the qualifying mode. They may do that the last thing. But I would definitely do that on these races that there's a chance of rain. Because you know you're going to get in. Well, I mean, it sucks for the drivers. And I hate it for the people that are loaded up and going home. Because a lot of them weren't going to run the last chance qualifier. A lot of them, Hunter Robbins, all them left.
Right.
And I hate it. Eric Jones left. I hate it for all these guys leaving. But, you know, it is what it is. You have to accept what's handed to you.
Yeah, you can't do anything about Mother Nature. I mean, Lord, we've had a snowball derby on a Tuesday before because of weather.
Yeah, I remember that. And you know what? When racing hands you a shit sandwich, you just grab a Coke and suck it up. That's all you can do, you know.
Suck it up, Buttercup.
That's it. I mean, you can't just. I mean, you know, and you, like I said, you ain't gonna make everybody happy. Some of the fans are gonna gripe. Everybody's gonna bitch and moan, and it's just gonna be a problem. And I hate it because I at Star Series, it's having growing pains. The first race at Five Flags, there was a lot of stuff that I didn't agree with. Our boy getting dumped. But anyway, but that's part of it. You know, we're all going to gripe and moan about what we don't like. There's some things I saw that like they're working on it, and I'm sure they'll perfect it and make it better. I mean, you're going to be national late model champion.
Right.
Okay? Not Car Series champion, not Southern Super Series champion, national champion. Yeah. Let's remember that. And it's a good show. The racing has been really good so far.
Well, I mean, with Majeski starting so deep in the field and Bubba way out front, things could switch. We just don't know.
It could. I mean, just got to stay. And Wilkesboro is as rough as it is on tires. Yeah. You're going to have to save.
Well, if you're starting at the rear, you want to get up front. You're not going to be able to save a lot.
You're going to have to roll, and you're probably going to run out of tires.
You know, and well, there were 3 more entries: Austin Nason, Michael Hines with the best hair in the pits. Of course,
the mullet man.
Yes, and Jet Nolan. That was the last 3 provisionals to get in the race, which we know will be over with by the time we hear this. But still, like I said, we're just going through the list to give you some idea of the people that have been here that we recognize these names, all of them, pretty much. So.
And speaking of another name, you want to talk about that, Thomas?
I've actually got one more I want to throw in there, and then we'll get back to the good stuff because that's we'll just it's hard to hold that back.
I got you. I hear you.
Got to pull the reins on that one.
I'm with you.
Yeah. So after Burke's Run, we go to Oxford Plains. This is a 3/8 mile up in Oxford, Maine, which is another huge, big super late model race in the PASS series, which is a Pro All Star series, and a lot of these guys that we have talked about too. It was a 150 lap super late model race up there at Oxford Plains. Max Cookson gets the win, started 9th and took the lead about around 100 laps in, and we had probably a little less than 50 to go, and he took the lead and never looked back over Brandon Barker, Kyle D'Souza, Ben Rowe, and Trevor Sanborn, which we've mentioned a lot about. And some of the notables there were DJ Shaw, Joey Dorian, and Johnny Clark, Mike Rowe. They had 25 super late models up there at Oxford Plains, and you know, these super late models and a lot of these dirt cars that we've talked about, some of those races, they're all over the country, and they're putting on really, really good shows. So with 25 super late models up there in Maine, I can't imagine the weather being, 85 degrees. I'm sure it was a little chilly up there. I don't know if they ever have a summer, but what a congratulations to all those winners. Max Cookson. What do you say? Got to go to the big one now. Back down to North Wilkesboro.
Just about 30 minutes ago.
Yep. 30 minutes ago. What transpired up there?
Augie Grill in the 1112, Montgomery, Alabama, around that area. He went up there and put it on him in his own personal Grand American race car.
Yep.
No, I'm sorry. He's driving for Justin South in that race. His car's in the other show. The 43 car is what he won in today.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Augie. We're proud of you, man. It's good to see a local guy go up there and then take the money.
Yeah, he battled with Corey Heim there for a while, didn't he?
Yeah, truck winner Corey Heim. No slouch there at all. But at the end, he finally drove away from him. No. Great racing up there. I mean, that was awesome to see. And the Cars Tour races, should be going on right now as we speak.
Yes.
And that's going to be a good one, too, because there's a lot of big names in that one. I mean, you got Ross Chastain, you got Kevin Harvick, you've got Dale Earnhardt Jr., so it's, I mean, and you know what? That is, he's dumpster list. North Wilkesboro is definitely in there because I want to go to this and I want to go see the late models and stay for the All-Star race. The truck race, the All-Star race, I want to do all of it because that would be a super awesome deal at that little old historic racetrack. In which my personal hero, Darrell Waltrip, which I didn't know this till recently, I'd forgotten about it. He won 6 in a row at that place.
8 numbers.
He won 7 in a row at Bristol and 6 in a row at North Wilkesboro, and he's like, the only driver ever to do it, so that's cool. But that's a neat little place. It's downhill down the front straightaway, and you go uphill down the backstretch. Changing elevation. So, I mean, and the track, his surface is terrible. You got to save your tires. It's going to be a good show, man. I'm excited for Augie, man. That is just freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that late model stock race that's going on right now. I've got the starting lineup, but I'm sure there are many laps into it. But I'm sure it's not this order. But Brendan Queen and Jared Fryer led the field to green with Carson Quapple, Minnie Terrell, Connor Jones, Daniel Suarez, Bobby McCarty, Connor Hall, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Chad McCumbry. And for those that you don't know, Chad McCumbry, he played Dale Jr. in the movie 3. So if you're an Earnhardt fan at all, which a lot of us were, if you haven't seen the movie 3, he plays Dale Jr. in that movie. So he starts 10th next to Dale Earnhardt Jr. in that late model stock tour race. And then we'll have the big one, the 150, comes in after that. So I think they're going to start roughly around 8 or so. So we'll have news and results on that one coming up next Wednesday, and but man, I look forward to that spectacular this Friday night.
Yeah, it's going to be a good show. I think we'll have some fun. That's what it's all about, man. I mean, we're out there to have a good time, enjoy racing, drive some race cars. I still love getting behind the wheel, so we're going to see what happens. If I could bring home that $1,000, that would be nice. I could
even
use
better.
it. I could use it. Believe me.
There's going to be a fight, hair, teeth, and eyeballs for that.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure.
I want to throw a shout out there, though, to Karting for Christ on it's the second Tuesday, I believe, every month at Fast Eddie's at Marcus Point Beulah Baptist Church puts it on. And they ask us for a banner for our podcast to be put up there. Special thanks to Lake Brooks and Kevin Mitchell for doing that. So I'm getting a banner made to go up there. Y'all go up there and enjoy that. It's a lot of fun. We ride go-karts. We talk about the Lord. We talk about racing. It's a real neat deal.
Yeah, that's awesome, and we do appreciate that. And anytime that we can reciprocate that plug, and we work together.
Yeah, exactly. We're all racers, and it's actually racing go-karts is fun. It is a blast. They get around there pretty quick, and them guys get to beating and banging on each other. It's so much your side hurts from sitting and watching these guys try to kill each other on these go-karts. It's hilarious.
A good time to be had by all on that one. No doubt about that.
And the promoter Tim Bryant comes most nights, so you get to see him up there. I want to race against him. I want to knock the crap out of him. That's what you get for costing me a championship. But anyway, I just want to give that a shout out. And Motorcop Chronicles podcast, they give us a shout out every week. They talk about. I'm one of their Patreons because I enjoy their podcast, and they go live on Wednesday nights. Give them a holler after you're done listening to us. Give them a listen. It's very interesting. The between Iceman and Holstera, it's hilarious when all them guys are on there having a good time, and they always bring us up. So I appreciate them too.
Yeah. It's all about networking.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, and we're doing some parts, and we've got some reciprocation coming back our way. So we try to spiderweb that and talk about what we love every Wednesday, and it's good to have everybody back in the studio, and everything seems to be functioning correctly. So we're excited to pick up where we left off, and hope Mother Nature will take a break here for another few years. Jim, good luck Friday night. We'll be pulling for you, and that 07 got to go to the front.
I just want to throw one thing out there real quick. We've been covering the Grand National Super Series here, and they've been primarily up on the coastal areas. They are coming to Montgomery Motor Speedway on June 16th, so get out there and watch those guys if you got a chance.
That's going to be a series I think will grow because all the old Cup cars that are sitting around that ain't racing, and the ARCA cars that don't run with those rules anymore, and the Busch Grand National or what they call Xfinity now, But I mean, there's a bunch of those old cars just sitting around doing nothing, and
Right.
you could get one and go race that series.
Yeah.
I think it's a great idea.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
So good luck to them. Hopefully, it's a good showing in Montgomery. I mean, I think I'm gonna ride down the date and ride up there and see it.
Right on up there. Yeah. Check it out.
That's it.
Well, guys, that wraps up what we were anticipating to catch up from what we can. And we'll just kind of pick up and move forward, and we'll be back next Wednesday. And we do want to give a shout out to all our listeners and the support that we've got. McDonald Muffler, thank you guys so much for listening and being a part of our journey. We really appreciate it. And, your motivation is our passion, and that helps us grow, and we're going to continue with it. And we do really appreciate everybody's help.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks for being patient. We're back. We're not going anywhere. And you guys, shout at us on Facebook. Give us get up with us on any platform you can. Give us a 5-star rating if you can. That helps us move up the charts. And if you want to go on Patreon and throw us a few bucks, we would really appreciate it. That keeps us going. We're doing this because we love the sport. But if you can help us out, that would be even better.
Absolutely.
Yep, 10-4.
Thank you.
Well, guys, we've got to come up with a new sign off now, or are we going to continue the same one? That's fine with me.
Do the same tonight.
Yeah, be consistent about it.
That's right.
All right, 1, 2, 3.
Let's go, Brandon. Good night, everybody. Thanks for listening.
Be strong, America.
See you next week.